500,000, that's a 500,000 brand new iPhone 17 units, gone, swallowed by the Pacific Ocean. The reports are staggering: a devastating shipping accident off the coast of Peru, an evergreen marine cargo ship, and a consignment of Apple's flagship device, wiped out. This isn't just a shipping delay, it's a potential $500 million disaster for the most valuable company in the world. Tonight, we dive into the sensational story that's rocking global supply chains. Is the rumor true? Did Apple really lose 5 lakh iPhones? Or is this another case of internet rumor colliding with a very real tragedy? Let's start with what has been widely reported, especially across Asian media outlets. The story goes like this. In early October, the massive evergreen marine vessel, the Lunar, was either anchored or attempting to dock at the port of Callao, Peru. Severe winds and unexpected rough seas, the kind that can snap steel, caused a catastrophic loss of cargo. Approximately 50 containers reportedly plunged into the water, and inside these containers, according to circulating reports, was a massive shipment of the recently launched iPhone 17. The estimated loss is a mind-boggling 5 lakh units. Now, to put that number in perspective, if each iPhone is valued at a conservative $1,200, that's over $600 million worth of technology sinking to the bottom of the Pacific. It would represent one of the single biggest non-war-related cargo losses in Apple's history. But here is where we need to put on our investigative hats. Because when a story this big doesn't get confirmed by the biggest news agencies in the world, the alarm bells start ringing. Let's separate the facts, which are verifiable from global shipping authorities, from the fiction, which is still unconfirmed social media chatter. Fact: the Lunar did lose around 50 containers off the coast of Callao, Peru, but the incident did not happen in October. It happened back on August 1, 2025. Why is the date so crucial? Because the iPhone 17 was only released in September. A massive, 500,000 unit shipment of a phone that had not yet been launched is highly unlikely to be on a routine trade route a month prior. Fact: local Peruvian port authorities, as well as the vessel operator Evergreen, confirmed at the time that the lost containers were non-hazardous. Official reports explicitly stated the cargo contained plastic products and general consumer goods. There was no mention of an Apple product of this magnitude. Analysis: this is the most likely source of the confusion. Apple's stock price took a massive hit after the iPhone 17 launch, losing an estimated Rs 5 lakh crore in market value. That's the Indian unit of currency for hundreds of billions of dollars. It seems the number 5 lakh and the word loss from the stock market story have been merged with the actual August shipping accident to create this irresistible headline. So, while the cargo disaster in Peru was real, the consignment of 500,000 brand new iPhones appears to be a classic case of viral misinformation. But even if the number is wrong, the idea of a loss this big raises serious questions about Apple's supply chain. Imagine for a moment that the rumor was true. What would the loss of 500,000 flagship devices actually mean for Apple and for you, the customer? First, instant shortages. 500,000 phones disappearing overnight would immediately impact the inventory in key markets. We would see instant shortages, especially for the high-end iPhone 17 Pro Max model, which is typically shipped via priority sea routes to key distribution hubs like the US West Coast or Panama. Second, price hikes and black market. When demand heavily outweighs supply, the price goes up. You would see an immediate surge in pricing on secondary markets, or what we call the gray market, possibly pushing prices up by hundreds of dollars just weeks after launch. Third, production reroute. Apple would have to divert millions of units from other markets or immediately demand an emergency production ramp-up from its partners like Foxconn. This is costly and puts immense strain on a system that is already operating at maximum capacity for the holiday season. This is why the lack of official confirmation is key. A loss this large is an insurable event that affects dozens of companies, from the shipping line to the logistics firm to the insurers. If it were true, we would see detailed filings and press releases, not just social media claims. The fact is, Apple has had a tough launch cycle, but for a different reason entirely. Instead of a cargo disaster, they suffered a market disaster. After the iPhone 17 unveiling, investors were disappointed by what they saw as incremental updates and a lack of true revolutionary AI features. This disappointment triggered a sell-off that wiped over $100 billion off the company's valuation in just 2 days. So, while no one lost 500,000 phones to the sea, Apple did lose a huge amount of investor confidence. They launched a phone that looks beautiful and is powerful, but failed to deliver the big wow moment that drives a massive stock surge. The story of the 5 lakh iPhones lost is a gripping headline, a perfect storm of a real shipping accident and a huge financial number. But for now, we can confidently say that the supply chain is likely safe from the Kraken, and the real loss Apple is dealing with is on Wall Street, not in the Pacific. We want to know what you think. Do you believe the rumors will keep circulating, or will the facts win out? Let us know in the comments below. If you want the truth behind the biggest tech stories, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. We'll keep tracking this story and bring you any new updates, verified or otherwise. Thanks for watching. See you next time.